looking at job broking as such. What we're looking at is the awareness.
At this business show near Maidstone, the Kent Association for the Blind is publicising the work done by a group of employers who support Visage. They've set up a website with answers to employers' questions about taking on blind and partially sighted people, and information about the financial help the government's Access to Work programme can provide. And they're demonstrating the difference the latest technology can make.
Hi, my name is Steve. I am a JAWS user.
Access technology, such as the JAWS programme, which reads aloud the words on a computer screen, has revolutionised working life for blind and partially sighted people, giving someone like Steve, who's totally blind, the same access to information as a fully sighted person. Sheila Costello is one visitor who's impressed by what she's seen.
I think it's made me realise that blind people can work in exactly the same way as sighted people in an office. Looking at what Steve was doing, it was obvious that he had access to all the systems that anybody else would have, and could be just as useful an employee as anybody else.
Steve Mitchell spent most of his working life in a factory until the new technology broadened his horizons. He says it's helped many blind and partially sighted people move beyond the stereotypes.
We were limited to just those few jobs, really, of something like basket work, sheltered employment in a workshop, that kind of thing, whereas now we can start to look seriously at the open market and say, well, now this could be for me, and I can get this training and I can go out there and do it, providing I can, of course, convince an employer.
That can still be difficult, despite the advances in technology. But Les Ellis, the former director of the Kent Association for the Blind, who was centrally involved in setting up Visage, says that those companies which have taken on blind and partially sighted employees find it very worthwhile.
Well, our experience is that when an employer has employed a person with a disability, they're very open to continue to employing more people with a disability. So the experiences generally are very good. I mean, one finds that they are actually better employees. Sickness records tend to be better, attendance records tend to be better, and the enthusiasm for the job actually tends to be better amongst people who have a disability.
And that's backed up by research Visage has carried out among employers, as Andy Taylor from Action for Blind People explains.
We found that 80% of employers who had employed disabled people before, and blind and partially sighted people in particular, rated their performance as equal or better than that of their non-disabled staff. However, 50% of employers were completely unaware of the kinds of financial assistance and equipment that could help blind and partially sighted people in the workplace, most of which can come quite easily from government.
Employers and blind and partially sighted job seekers spent a day getting to know each other.
Hi, pleased to meet you. I'm Neil. How are you?
As well as educating employers, the aim was to show job seekers how to win through the job selection process. Lauren Finnegan from the Royal National Institute of the Blind, which organised the event, says people who've been out of work for a long time can lose the confidence that comes from simply holding down a job.
The more you're living without that, the more you are encountering a lack of confidence. I think the more someone can be going for job interviews and getting knocked back, they then stop thinking it's because of anything they're doing. They start thinking it's discrimination on the part of the employer. And although that does exist, I like to think it doesn't. It does exist amongst a lot of employers, unfortunately. But however, because of those attitudes, some blind and partially sighted people will then assume that they're not getting a job interview based on their disability. And it could be because they're just not selling themselves properly.
To develop those selling skills, a session of speed interviewing, a bit like speed dating.
3, 2, 1, start interviewing.
The job seekers had 3 minutes to persuade each of the employers to offer them a job.
A lot of the time I prioritise things if things are essential that needed to be done that day or that hour. I'll say things that don't need to take...
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and feedback please.
Okay, so you came across very well, very good body language, you hold yourself very positively.
As well as praise, there was constructive criticism and tips on how the job seekers could improve their chances in real-life interviews.
within your qualifications that you have, you need to sell them on, because I had a job to get out of you, and that could be the difference of you getting the job or not.
The speed interviews are part of a package of support, which also includes tips on writing CVs and dressing for the job. The employers who took part think companies which don't give blind and partially sighted job seekers a fair chance are missing out. Ray Johnson is the proprietor of Independent Insurance Services and chairman of the local Chamber of Commerce.
We all know that partially sighted blind people are keen to work, and I think that's a key message to get across to employers. There's a great opportunity to take these people on. I'm sure they will get real commitment and achievement from them.
The job seekers agreed the day would give them the confidence to get back into the job market and face employers who they've not always found welcoming. Lynn Turner has been out of work since she lost her sight 11 years ago. She thinks employers are influenced by general misconceptions about what it means to be blind.
Stereotypical image is that we talk to coat racks and we talk to mirrors and we walk around with our hands out in front of us. It gives people that image that I'm a bit stupid, that I'm not capable, that I'm helpless, that I need looking after. And I absolutely don't. They've been brought up the same as everyone else, sighted. They get a stereotypical image of a blind person, helpless, needy and, you know, not really capable of doing a lot. And I like to say, I think I've changed a few people's attitudes today.
But however confident job seekers are, actually starting a new job after years out of work can be daunting. Visage partner, the Inspire Community Trust, is setting up mentoring schemes to help blind and partially sighted recruits settle in. The work is being coordinated by Les Ellis.
I think for anybody who's entering a new job for the first time, it's quite daunting. And for a person with a disability that may have not worked for some time, it can be quite a challenge. And imagine if somebody is blind going into the workplace and the environment isn't actually designed to be helpful towards a person that can't see. They often need additional support. It's really the challenge of getting used to the culture of the workplace, knowing where the loos are, perhaps where to make the tea, how to address the boss who may be prickly on Monday mornings, I don't know. But it's just giving that advice and information to somebody that a mentoring scheme can be most valuable.